is a gentle yet powerful truth in this universe. Life reflects what we believe. Your mind is not just a place of thoughts. It is a sacred garden, and every belief you plant will grow. If you think in harmony with love, peace, abundance, and confidence, the world around you will begin to mirror that energy. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator, the artist, the author. And when you begin to think in alignment with your inner power, the world, yes, the whole world will bend in your favor. Your mind is a magnet. This is not just a metaphor. It is a truth that silently governs your life. Every thought you think, every emotion you hold, every belief you carry emits a vibration. And that vibration attracts experiences, people, and outcomes that match it. The world outside of you is not random. It is responsive. Life does not happen to you. It responds to you. And it always begins in the quiet, unseen world of your thoughts. When you constantly think of lack, you attract more reasons to feel lacking. When you think of love, peace, and abundance, you begin to pull in people and situations that reflect those qualities. Your dominant thoughts become your dominant reality. This is why two people can walk into the same room and have completely different experiences. One may see opportunity, the other may see rejection. One may feel grateful, the other may feel deprived. The difference is not the room, it is the mindset, it is the magnet. You are born with the power to choose your thoughts. This is your sacred gift. No one can force a thought into your mind without your permission. And while we may have inherited beliefs from childhood or absorbed fears from society, we also have the power to release them. We are not bound by old thinking unless we choose to be. Each new day is a new opportunity to think again, to choose again, to align your thoughts with what you truly desire rather than what you fear. The mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. If you constantly think about failure, your body reacts with anxiety, tension, and stress. If you think about success, peace, or love, your body relaxes and opens. Your thoughts send signals through your entire being, and those signals ripple out into the energy field around you. You are constantly broadcasting. So the question becomes, what are you broadcasting today? You don't need to be perfect to attract good things into your life. You only need to be intentional. You only need to become aware of your inner dialogue and begin shifting it gently toward love, trust, and confidence. When you notice a negative thought, you don't need to judge yourself. You only need to pause and ask, is this thought hurting me or hurting me? If it is hurting you, let it go. Choose a thought that feels a little better. One small shift at a time, you change the entire direction of your life. What you focus on expands. This is one of the simplest yet most powerful truths. If you wake up and focus on everything that's wrong, your day will feel heavy. If you wake up and give thanks for one or two things, you begin to set a new tone. You begin to raise your vibration. Gratitude is one of the strongest magnets for miracles. Even in the middle of uncertainty, there is always something to appreciate. And as you focus on those blessings, more blessings begin to arrive. Affirmations are one of the most effective ways to reprogram your mental magnet. Words like, I am worthy, I am supported, I am abundant, send new signals into your subconscious mind. Over time, they become new beliefs. And those beliefs begin to magnetize new realities. It may not happen overnight, but it will happen if you are consistent. The universe listens when you speak with intention. It responds when you believe you are ready. And belief begins with thought. If you want to change your life, start with your inner world. Start by treating your mind as a sacred space. Feed it with kindness, clarity, and compassion. Remove the clutter of worry and doubt. Replace it with faith and possibility. You are always just one thought away from a new beginning, one thought away from a shift in energy, one thought away from a new chapter. When your thoughts become aligned with your desires, you don't have to chase. You don't have to force or struggle. You simply become magnetic. People will wonder why things come easily to you, why you're glowing, why doors open, but it won't be a mystery to you. You will know that the shift happened within, that it was not the world that changed. It was your mind. So take a moment right now and breathe deeply. Imagine that your mind is filled with light, that every thought you hold is glowing with love, peace, and confidence. Feel the magnetism of those thoughts expanding around you. Know that the universe is responding right now. You don't need to beg or chase or prove your worth. You simply need to think like the person who already has everything they desire. The rest will follow. Assuming the best is one of the most powerful mental shifts you can make in your life. It is the conscious decision to believe in goodness, in favorable outcomes, in alignment, and in unseen support. Yet, so many of us are conditioned to expect the worst. We prepare for disappointment before it even arrives. We rehearse failure in our minds before we've even taken the first step. This way of thinking is not protective. It is limiting. It cages the soul and suffocates the joy that is trying to find its way into our experience. When you assume the worst, you live in a state of quiet fear. You brace yourself for pain that hasn't happened. You imagine being rejected before the conversation even begins. You talk yourself out of applying, calling, creating, or even dreaming. But the truth is, expecting the worst doesn't prevent it, it invites it. Because your energy becomes tightly wound around doubt and resistance. You begin to vibrate with hesitation instead of confidence. And the universe, ever responsive, reflects back more experiences that match your low expectations. But what happens when you flip that script? When you walk into a room and assume people will like you? When you open your inbox and assume good news is waiting? When you send out your intentions and assume they are already being answered? Your energy shifts, your posture changes, your face softens, your heart opens, and most importantly, you align with the outcome you desire. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing which version of reality you want to empower. There are always infinite possibilities. You get to choose which one you believe in. Assuming the best is an act of courage. It is not naive or foolish. It is wise and spiritually mature. It takes strength to believe in love after heartbreak. It takes trust to believe in abundance when you faced lack. It takes faith to believe in healing after pain. But when you make that choice again and again, you begin to shape a new experience. You tell the universe, I am ready to receive the good. I expect the best because I know I am worthy of it. Life responds to expectation, not what you say you expect, but what you feel deep down. If you say, I believe in good things, but secretly expect to be disappointed, you will meet resistance. But if you begin to affirm daily, I expect miracles, I expect solutions, I expect kindness, and you truly begin to feel the vibration of that belief, the world begins to soften. People treat you differently. Opportunities arise, doors open. Why? Because you've stopped pushing against life and started flowing with it. This doesn't mean everything will be perfect. Life will still have its challenges. But even those challenges become easier when you assume the best. You begin to trust that every delay is divine, that every closed door is guiding you somewhere better, that even rejection is redirection. You no longer spiral into fear because you have chosen a new lens, a lens of grace. You are always making assumptions every day about yourself, about others, about the future, and those assumptions create your emotional tone. If you assume people are against you, you will close off and become defensive. If you assume people are kind and supportive, you will relax and invite connection. If you assume life is hard, you will struggle. If you assume life supports you, you will rise. This practice takes time, but it changes everything. Begin each day with the quiet decision to assume the best. Tell yourself, today, I expect love. I expect peace. I expect progress. And when your mind drifts into fear or doubt, gently bring it back. You are not failing by thinking negatively. You are simply being given another opportunity to choose again. Assuming the best is an act of self-love. It says, I believe my life can be beautiful. It says, I trust that I am being guided. It says, I am open to receiving the good that is meant for me. And with every loving assumption, you shape a life that feels softer, fuller, and more aligned with your true self. So go ahead, assume the best, even when you're afraid, even when it feels uncertain, even when the past has taught you to expect otherwise, because this time is different. This time you are thinking differently. This time you are aligned with truth, with light, with love. And when you hold that vibration steadily, life has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Thoughts become things. This is not a metaphor. It is a spiritual law, universal principle that governs the unfolding of your reality. Every single thing you experience in your life was once born in the quiet space of the mind. The relationships you attract, the opportunities you see, the struggles you repeat, the peace you long for, all of it begins with a thought. The mind is the birthplace of every creation, and the more you understand this, the more power you reclaim. Most people live unaware of this truth. They allow thoughts to drift in and out of their minds without question, assuming that their thoughts are random or out of their control. But your thoughts are not visitors. They are builders. Every belief you hold, every inner conversation you repeat, is laying a foundation for what will eventually show up in your life. You don't need to control every single thought, but you do need to become aware of the dominant ones, because it is the thoughts you think over and over again that begin to take shape in your outer world. You cannot think lack and live abundance. You cannot think fear and live peace. You cannot think failure and live success. The outer world always mirrors the inner dialogue. If you want to change what you see, you must first change what you believe. That means taking responsibility for the story you're telling yourself. Are you telling a story of empowerment or a story of limitation? Are you affirming your worth or doubting it? Are you creating with faith or with fear? This doesn't mean you can never have a negative thought. It means you don't let it become your home. You observe it, you question it, and you choose again. You choose thoughts that serve your highest good. Thoughts that uplift you, strengthen you, and align with the life you want to live. This is how change begins. Not in the world, but in the mind. The beautiful thing about this law is that it puts the power back in your hands. You no longer need to wait for someone else to change, for circumstances to align, or for the world to approve. You begin within. You plant new seeds in the soil of your consciousness. Seeds like, I am enough, I am safe, I am open to receive. And with time, those seeds grow. They become the relationships, the opportunities, the healing, and the abundance that you once only imagined. Every day is a new chance to think better thoughts. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be intentional. Catch yourself when you fall into the old patterns. Gently bring your awareness back. Speak to yourself with kindness. Affirm your truth. Remind yourself that you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are the thinker of your thoughts, and you can always choose a new thought. Some people may say, but I've tried thinking positively and nothing changed. That's because it's not just about thinking a happy thought once or twice. It's about changing your belief system. It's about creating a new emotional foundation. The universe responds to energy, not just words. You must feel the thought. You must believe it. You must allow it to settle deep within you and become your new normal. And from there, the shift begins. Visualization is a powerful tool. When you close your eyes and picture the life you desire, you are sending out a signal. You are creating a blueprint for the universe to follow. When you imagine yourself at peace, successful, loved, and fulfilled, you are aligning with the energy of that reality. And the more you hold that vision, the faster it begins to manifest. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for proof. Believe it first and the evidence will come. You are the author of your life. The pen is in your hands and the ink is made of thought. Write a story you love. Speak words that build you up. Think thoughts that make you feel powerful and alive. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Every single moment is a mirror. And if you don't like what you see, you can change the reflection by changing the thoughts you're projecting. There is no limit to what you can create as long as you believe it's possible. You are not here to live by default. You are here to live by design. That design begins in your mind. Nourish it, protect it, align it, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Your thoughts are not just words in your head. They are blueprints for your future. Choose them with love. Choose them with care. Because thoughts become things. And your life becomes whatever you consistently think it is. Your feelings are feedback. They are the gentle, powerful signals that your inner world sends to help guide your outer journey. So often we are taught to ignore, suppress, or hide our feelings, especially the ones that are uncomfortable. But your feelings are never wrong. They are messengers. They are your soul's way of saying, look here, something matters. Something needs your attention. When you begin to see emotions as guidance rather than problems, you unlock a deep level of self-awareness and transformation. Every emotion you feel is rooted in a thought you've accepted as true. If you feel anxious, it's likely because you're believing a thought about the future that feels unsafe. If you feel sadness, perhaps you are holding on to something from the past or grieving the loss of something meaningful. If you feel joy, it's because you are aligned with thoughts that reflect love, peace, and presence. In this way, emotions are not random. They are reflections. They show you what you are believing, and they invite you to look deeper. You don't need to fear your feelings. You don't need to push them away or pretend they aren't there. Every emotion has value. Even anger, jealousy, or frustration is trying to teach you something. Maybe you've been denying your truth. Maybe your boundaries have been crossed. Maybe your desires have been silenced. Whatever the case, when a feeling arises, your job is not to judge it. It is to listen, to sit with it, to ask, what are you trying to tell me? And then to allow that wisdom to guide your next steps. Feelings become dangerous only when they're ignored. When you pretend you're okay, but you're not, the pain doesn't go away, it goes inward. It becomes tension in the body. It becomes illness. It becomes emotional walls that block connection and joy. But when you honor your feelings, when you let them move through you without resistance, something magical happens. You begin to heal. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to feel whole. Your feelings are not facts, but they are clues. They can help you uncover the beliefs you didn't even know you had. For example, if you feel unworthy, that feeling is rooted in a belief that says, I am not enough. That belief may have come from childhood, from rejection, or from comparison. But once you see it, you can change it. You can begin to speak to yourself with love, remind yourself of your worth, and affirm new truths that support your growth. The goal is not to only feel good all the time. The goal is to be honest with yourself, to be present with whatever is arising, to know that your emotional state is always communicating something important, and to trust that no feeling is final. Emotions move in waves. They come and go. You are not your sadness. You are not your anxiety. You are the awareness beneath it. You are the observer, the witness, the soul who is learning and growing through every experience. There is wisdom in every emotion. When you feel lost, your feelings can guide you back to yourself. When you feel overwhelmed, they may be asking you to slow down, to rest, to let go of perfection. When you feel uninspired, they may be nudging you to return to what lights you up. When you feel excited, joyful, or peaceful, those feelings are confirming you're on the right path. They are the green lights of your soul saying, yes, more of this, please. Begin to develop a relationship with your emotions. Sit with them as you would with a child, curious, patient, compassionate. Instead of pushing away the discomfort, lean in. Say, I see you, I hear you, I'm willing to understand. When you bring love to your inner world, healing begins to unfold. You no longer need to fight yourself. You no longer need to fear the storm. You realize the storm is part of your becoming. And as you begin to honor your feelings, you become more emotionally intelligent. You begin to respond rather than react. You begin to choose peace over chaos. You begin to surround yourself with people and environments that nourish your emotional well-being. You no longer tolerate what drains your spirit because you have learned to value your inner clarity. Your feelings are not enemies, they are allies. They are sacred messengers pointing the way home. Trust them, learn from them, let them guide you, not with force, but with gentle awareness. And remember, you are never wrong for how you feel. You are human, you are growing, you are healing. And with every emotion you honor, you come closer to the truth of who you really are. Speak as if it's already happening. Not because you're pretending or living in denial, but because you are choosing to align your words with the reality you are creating. Your words carry power. Every time you speak, you are not just describing your life, you are directing it. Words are like seeds, and every sentence you speak plants something in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Eventually, what you keep saying takes root and becomes your lived experience. This is why speaking with intention, with belief, and with clarity is one of the most powerful spiritual tools you have. So when you say things like, I'll never get there, nothing ever works for me, or I'm just not lucky, you are affirming those limitations. You may think you're simply stating facts, but the universe doesn't operate on fact. It operates on vibration, and your words vibrate. They either raise your frequency or lower it. They either open you up or close you off. What you speak consistently, you begin to believe. What you believe, you start to expect, and what you expect, you inevitably attract. Now imagine instead you begin saying, I am in the process of becoming my best self. Things are always working out for me. I attract beautiful opportunities with ease. Even if these things are not yet visible, speaking them begins to shift your energy. Your body listens. Your mind starts to adjust. You begin to move through life differently, more confident, more open, more magnetic. And the outer world starts responding to this new vibration. This is not about lying to yourself. It's about speaking from the version of you who already knows it's possible. It's about letting your words guide you toward the future you desire instead of anchoring you to a past you've outgrown. Speaking as if it's already happening means you're no longer giving your attention to what's missing. You're giving your power to what's being created. You're aligning your language with abundance, love, peace, and purpose. There's a sacred bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and that bridge is built by the words you speak daily. If you constantly say, I'm always broke, you stay in that loop. But if you begin to say, money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways, you open up new channels. If you say, I'm not lovable, you reinforce walls around your heart. But if you begin to affirm, I am worthy of deep, healthy, lasting love, you soften those walls and invite connection in. The shift begins in your language, not just in what you say to others, but in what you say to yourself. Self-talk is powerful. Start listening to the words you whisper in your mind when no one else is around. Are they loving? Are they supportive? Are they in harmony with the life you're trying to build? If not, choose again. Choose words that feel nurturing, empowering, and true to your highest self. There is something profoundly creative about affirmations. When spoken regularly, they become your internal truth. I am healing. I am growing. I am aligned with my purpose. These are not just hopeful phrases. They are energetic instructions. They are blueprints that your subconscious follows. Over time, your actions, your focus, and even your intuition begin to support these statements. You start seeing the world through a new lens, and opportunities that once felt far away begin to move toward you. Consistency is key. You can't speak abundance once and expect your life to transform overnight. Just as a seed needs watering, your affirmations need repetition. The more you speak as if your desires are already true, the more natural it becomes to think, feel, and act in alignment with them. Doubt may still arise, that's normal, but your job is not to eliminate all doubt. It's to speak louder than it, to keep choosing faith even when fear knocks on the door. Speaking as if it's already happening also requires gratitude. Gratitude affirms to the universe, I already have this, even before it arrives. Begin each day giving thanks for what's on its way. Thank you for the peace that fills my heart. Thank you for the financial freedom that flows to me. Thank you for the healing that is unfolding. Gratitude collapses time. It brings the future into the now. It tells life, I'm ready. You are always creating. Your words are either building you up or tearing you down. So speak with intention, speak with vision, speak with the authority of someone who knows that life is not happening to them, it's happening through them. Let every word you speak be a declaration of your worth, your growth, your joy, and your expansion. Speak not from where you've been, but from where you're going, and soon you'll look around and realize you're already there. The universe bends to a steady mind. In a world full of noise, distraction, and constant motion, there is profound power in being calm, grounded, and unwavering in your inner belief. A steady mind is not one that never feels fear or doubt. It is a mind that returns to clarity again and again. It is a mind that chooses peace in the middle of chaos, that chooses focus when distractions call, and that chooses trust even when outcomes are uncertain. Most people live in reaction. Their thoughts are pulled in every direction by external circumstances. One moment they're full of hope, the next they are flooded with worry. One challenge throws them off course, one delay makes them question everything. But when your mind is steady, you begin to rise above the waves. You are no longer thrown around by every wind. You move with intention. You think with clarity. You respond with wisdom. And when your inner world becomes still, the outer world begins to shift. The universe is always responding to your vibration, but a scattered mind sends mixed signals. One moment you want something, the next you doubt it. One moment you believe you're worthy, the next you criticize yourself. The energy becomes fragmented, confused, and life reflects that confusion back to you. But when you hold your vision steady, when you focus your thoughts like a laser and believe without flinching, that energy becomes the universe knows exactly what to do with a steady mind. Clarity is power. When you are clear about who you are and what you desire, your energy becomes potent. You stop chasing, you stop doubting. You begin to embody your desires before they arrive. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is the quiet confidence that comes from being in harmony with yourself. You are no longer seeking permission or validation. You are no longer pleading with the universe. You are collaborating with it. A steady mind is built through practice. It comes from daily choices. Each time you choose not to react to fear, your mind becomes stronger. Each time you breathe through discomfort instead of resisting it, your energy becomes calmer. Each time you affirm your worth when doubt whispers in your ear, your inner world becomes more stable. And slowly, you begin to trust yourself. You begin to move through life with grace and intention. You begin to move through life with grace and intention. There will always be noise. There will always be reasons to panic or give up. But a steady mind doesn't fall for every story it hears. It observes, it reflects, it chooses. It knows that emotions pass, that setbacks are temporary, that the unseen is just as real as what is visible. A steady mind holds the vision even when results haven't shown up yet, and that unwavering faith becomes the catalyst for transformation. You don't need to force outcomes when your mind is steady. You don't need to manipulate or control. You simply hold your peace, focus on your energy, and allow the universe to respond. This is not passive. It is deeply powerful. It means you have moved from survival mode to creation mode. It means you are no longer creating from fear, but from love. You are no longer acting out of desperation, but from truth. When your mind is steady, people feel it. They are drawn to your calm. They respect your boundaries. They trust your leadership. Because you are no longer echoing the world's chaos, you are offering an alternative. You become a lighthouse, not just for others, but for your own soul. You guide yourself home every time life tries to pull you off course. This steadiness does not come from outside. It doesn't come from having everything figured out or perfectly in place. It comes from within, from a decision to no longer let fear lead, a decision to no longer hand your power over to circumstances, a decision to believe in the unseen and trust the timing of your life. And every time you return to that center, you deepen your connection to the energy that creates worlds. You are not meant to live in constant worry. You are not meant to be overwhelmed or overstimulated. You are meant to think clearly, love deeply, and live freely. But this begins by steadying your mind, by choosing stillness when the world shouts, by choosing trust when fear knocks, by choosing faith again and again. The universe bends to a steady mind not because the mind is controlling life, but because it is cooperating with it. When you are still inside, you become open to guidance. You hear your intuition clearly. You recognize signs, synchronicities, and divine timing. You stop resisting and you start receiving. Let your mind become a place of peace. Let your thoughts be intentional and kind. Let your vision be strong and clear. The universe is listening not just to your words, but to your energy. And when your energy is focused, loving, and steady, the entire fabric of life begins to rearrange itself in your favor.